everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Hiba, and here on my channel I discuss recent missing person cases. If you're into that type of content, go ahead and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Today I'd like to talk about Cassie Carli. Cassie is 37 years old. She's been missing from Florida since March 27, 2022 under very suspicious circumstances. Initially, it was believed that Cassie's 4-year-old daughter, Saylor, was also missing. Thankfully though, Saylor has been located and she is safe. On Sunday, Cassie was supposed to meet her ex, a man named Marcus Spanevelo, for a custody exchange. The two have a 4-year-old daughter together. Like I said, her name is Saylor. I believe that Marcus, her father, has bi-weekly visits, so he has her every other weekend. As far as I know though, there is an ongoing custody battle between the two. But like I said, Cassie was supposed to pick up her daughter on Sunday at around 7 p.m. The two agreed to meet at a local place called Juana's Grill. This wasn't where they usually met. They usually met somewhere else. Marcus lives a little bit further away in Panama City, so they would meet at a halfway point at a Walmart in Destin. However, for some reason, plans changed that day. I believe Marcus was going to be in the area, so they planned to meet at that grill. At the time, Cassie was staying with her father, and he lives close to the meeting point. I believe it was just down the road. Prior to heading out to meet Marcus, Cassie told her dad that she was going to pick Saylor up and that she would be back soon, and then she headed out. However, Cassie never returned. Worried, her father texted her to see what was going on or where she was. I'll include a screenshot of their text conversation here. Her father says, "Cassie, I'm trying to call you. What's going on?" He then follows that up with, "I'm freaking out, Cass. Call me as soon as you get this message." He then receives a response saying, "I'm sorry. Carl was acting up and I broke my phone. Marcus is working on it. I will stay at his place tonight. He is paying me money to do some stuff around his house." Cassie's father then asks, "Are you in PCB?" meaning Panama City Beach, and receives a response saying, "No, the screen is jumping all over the place. Let me see if he can get this fixed and I'll call you." Her father responds, "I'm going to sleep. I just needed to know if my girls were all right." Right off the bat, I think it's noteworthy that her father was concerned from the very start. I think that there is a good reason for this, which I'll discuss later on in the video. After not being able to get a response from her the following day, her father reported her missing. Not long after that, Cassie's vehicle was found in Juana's parking lot, which is where she was supposed to meet Marcus. This area is by the beach and also by a boat ramp, so some people will park nearby and just go watch the sunset. However, Cassie's purse was found still inside her vehicle, which immediately alarmed law enforcement. It's not like Cassie, or most women for that matter, to just leave behind their purse. According to her family, her phone was not in the purse, so that's still missing as far as I know. However, according to authorities, there hasn't been any sort of activity or bank activity as far as I know. Like I mentioned earlier, there was initially concern for Saylor's well-being and her whereabouts in the beginning. If Cassie is missing, where is her 4-year-old daughter? Well, it turns out that the 4-year-old was found in Birmingham, Alabama with her father. I believe that Marcus travels for work and that one of his job sites is in the Birmingham area. I think he installs audio equipment, but I'm not 100% certain. Initially, some sources stated that Saylor was found with a friend of the father's. However, more recently, it was confirmed that Saylor was found with Marcus himself. Regardless, being found with either doesn't really make sense. As we know, Saylor was supposed to be picked up by her mother. Since then, Alabama Child Services has gotten involved and they have Saylor in their custody. However, on the day I'm filming this, the family announced that Saylor will be returned to them, so that's good to hear. But where is Cassie? If you recall, the text with her father indicated that she was going to stay the night at Marcus's place. However, as we know, Cassie was not there. Friends and family have also expressed that it isn't like Cassie to spend the night at Marcus's place like the text claimed. In fact, Cassie oftentimes felt unsafe and uncomfortable around Marcus. So much so that her father would sometimes accompany her to the exchange meetings with Marcus. She also told friends and family that if something happens to her, that Marcus has something to do with it. About a year ago, Cassie started a GoFundMe, which I'd like to share with you here. It gives us some context about her relationship with Marcus and also shows us that it isn't unlike him to try to take or keep Saylor with him. It also shows that Cassie was adamant and was fighting to keep her daughter with her, and that she wouldn't just up and leave. The GoFundMe is titled Help Cassie with Legal Fees and reads, "Throughout the changing seasons of life, my sister has always been able to overcome and adapt to provide herself with the best life possible. Yet recently, the circumstances have intensified, making it difficult to fulfill the financial aspect of retaining a qualified lawyer. It is dire that she has proper representation in order for the best possible outcome for Saylor. I will let her explain further below. Please read with an open mind and heart. Hello, dear family and friends. I am writing to you today with a heavy heart. I never imagined that I would be in a position in my life where it would be necessary to write this letter to you. Nonetheless, here I am. So where do I begin? Let me begin at the beginning. In July of 2017, on the heels of one of the most traumatic events in my life, I met the man who became the father of my precious daughter. Like so many relationships I know, I was swept up in hidden deceit known as charm. This man was a master at the game of manipulation, and though I could see all the warning signs of an abuser, I believed his excuses and became stuck in his web of narcissistic lies. Just months into the relationship, I discovered that I was pregnant. Let me be clear, I have never regretted my decision to become a mother. Saylor is truly the light and love of my life. During my pregnancy, this man's use of control and manipulation escalated. But having battled infertility in my first marriage, I desperately wanted a family, so I justified his erratic behavior as long as I could. By the grace of God and great friends, I chose to end the relationship with him. I knew that raising my daughter alone would be better than exposing her to a toxic home life relationship. When I ended the relationship with him and he no longer had control of my mind, his web of lies and deceit spread like wildfire. He filed dozens of false police reports. He called CPS so many times, I nearly came to know most of the staff by name. In 2019, I filed for sole custody of my daughter. The court allowed him to have bi-monthly visitation and ordered him to pay child support. To date, he owes me over $10,000 in support. A few weeks ago, due to child support delinquency, the state was set to suspend his driver's license. Just days after that notice, he called CPS to report yet another false claim. He was allowed to pick up my daughter that day for his regularly scheduled weekend visit. For over 2 weeks, I had no contact with my daughter or knowledge of her whereabouts. I called everyone I knew. I sought help from the local police and every government agency I knew. No one could or would help me. My only hope was a powerful attorney who would not fall for his manipulation or believe his lies. But great attorneys are expensive. My family has levered everything we have to try to raise the $10,000 needed to fight this man in court. Currently, I am over $5,000 short. I need your help. My daughter needs your help. Foremost, pray. Please pray and consider donating to this GoFundMe. Every single dollar raised will be used to protect my daughter. Thank you for your prayers and support. I love and value each of you. Cassie. So obviously, Cassie didn't feel very comfortable or safe with Marcus. With all this in mind, why would she tell her father that she was going to spend the night at his place? In my opinion, it's completely possible that Cassie wasn't the one sending out these texts. I wonder if it was Marcus sending them to cover something up or to give himself more time. When asked about what happened the night he met Cassie, Marcus has been very dodgy. He's barely talked to Cassie's family, but he has been cooperating with law enforcement. He claims that the two did meet up to exchange Saylor that day, but that Cassie was having some sort of phone and car problems. He says that he was trying to help her with this, but that she started freaking out about something. In his words, she went crazy, quote unquote. He alleges that as a result, he dropped her off at her best friend's house. The friend says that this did not happen and that Cassie never showed up to her place. Marcus then changes his story slightly. In messages with Cassie's sister, he claims that he dropped her off in the middle of nowhere. In these messages, Cassie's sister says, "Is Saylor with you? Please, Marcus, this is not like my sister. She has been doing great and was supposed to start a new job. I hope you will at least cooperate with the police and let them know you have Saylor. She is now a missing person." Marcus then responds saying, "Saylor is with me. She wanted to be dropped off in the middle of nowhere in Destin with Saylor. I told her I wouldn't let Saylor go like that, to give me an address and I'd take them to it. Yeah, cops already called me and might call again for more questions. If they do, I will. Apparently everybody will be asking me that, so I'll just copy and paste what I told your father." Again, this wouldn't make sense. If Cassie was freaking out about something, why wouldn't she take Saylor and drive somewhere herself? After all, she did have her car. And if she really was having car issues, what are the chances that she was also having phone issues? Why wouldn't she just call her father and ask him for help? He lives close by, and he would have gladly picked her and Saylor up. Also, if she did choose to go with Marcus for some reason, why would she leave her purse behind? Marcus' story doesn't add up, at least not to me, but let me know what you think in the comments. If it did go down the way that he claims, why would he take Saylor out of state? Why wouldn't he call Cassie's father to let him know what's going on or to drop Saylor off there? There have also been rumors that Marcus potentially planned to leave the country with Saylor. I believe that he is South American or that he has Brazilian roots, and I've seen some rumors claim that he has family in Brazil. We also know, based on Cassie's own words in her GoFundMe, that Marcus has taken and kept Saylor in the past. In my opinion, I think it's possible that Saylor was never there. Marcus may have left her with his family or friends and used that as an excuse to lure Cassie out to meet him. Maybe the two met and Marcus told Cassie that they had to go pick Saylor up from somewhere since he didn't want to bring Saylor to the bar with him. Authorities have confirmed that there is video footage in the area and they are currently going through it. They've also confirmed that Marcus was the last person known to be with Cassie. His car and the 30-foot attached trailer were captured in video and in pictures. As of now, the family and community are actively searching for Cassie. They've indicated that they'll be searching the Navarre area all the way to Birmingham. So this is a multi-state investigation and the FBI is involved. Surprisingly, Marcus has not been named a suspect or a person of interest. While the majority of people are convinced that he had something to do with Cassie's disappearance, there hasn't been any concrete proof that a crime has been committed. I know that Marcus did recently fail to appear in court, so this is potentially something that they could take him in and question him about. However, I think that they're still searching for something more concrete or more evidence. If you happen to be in the Navarre area or were traveling to Birmingham, the family is asking for any dashcam footage or any pictures that you might have. Cassie is 5'5" and weighs 150 pounds. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information about her whereabouts, please call the number in the description below. Thank you so much for listening to Cassie's story and for caring about missing persons. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next one.